excited. Hi, guys. Want to say hi?
Hi!
Little Miss Violet is here with us. So, it's Thursday night. Can't see her. No, really, we can't. Okay, so we are going to be learning about tarot, and I think it's pretty important to go over the actual deck.
I'm going to be in it.
She's going to be in the deck. I don't see you in the deck, though. I'm just kidding. She does have her own deck that she has organized. While I have this intro with you.
Weird deck.
It's a weird deck. My deck's weird?
No.
Your deck's weird. It's a cute deck. You want to look? It's so cute. It's little
people,
little like kawaii people. It's super cute. I don't know where her box is though.
It's gone. It disappeared.
Disappeared. Yes.
It's magic.
Yes.
It's heart magic.
Heart magic? Heart chakra powers? So, in this section of your Winter Star Solstice binder.
I have a different binder.
She has a different binder. We're going to jazz it up, though. You wait.
Yeah, it's going to be the same kind of as her.
Yeah. We might think about doing little kid binders to go along. If you have mini-me's interested in doing work similar to yours that's age appropriate, we'll see about that. So you're going to flip to your section. While I'm speaking, if you want to organize your tarot deck into major arcanas.
What?
So she, with assistance, got her deck all organized, and we clipped it off because we're going to be working with specific groups. Yay!
Whoever likes this card, say it.
Perfect. Specifically, this week, we'll be working with the major arcanas.
Her deck is a grown-up deck.
My deck's a grown-up deck. And then you want to separate. I have a few decks separated. You want to separate all the swords. So that's a minor arcana. There's major arcanas that they are associated with elements, but they're not only to one element. So they're numbered from 0 to 21.
What?
Yeah, what is
that
right?
mean?
What's that mean? So your major arcanas are numbered from 0 to 21. And then sometimes there's a wild card. Leave your wild card out of your deck. Then you want to separate all of your sword. We'll go over that a different time, but I want you to become acclimated to separating by elements. So sword is the air element. Next is wands. So separate all your wands. It goes from ace to king. So ace, the numbers 2 through 10, and then it goes page, knight, queen, king. Then cups. Separate that. Cups is associated with the water element.
Ooh, I want to see.
You want to see my cups, my water element? And then lastly, separate your pentacles. Now,
I'm still at swords.
You're still at swords? That's okay. While mommy's talking, while I'm speaking about the rest of the program, you guys can be separating out your deck. So it is a little less confusing.
Decks.
You like some of my decks? Thank you.
Oh,
I do
some
have.
Of theirs.
Oh, and some of their decks? Yes. Seriously, tell me what you're working with. I love collecting tarot decks, oracle decks,
Me too.
all sorts of fun decks. Super fun. The purpose of a tarot deck is to connect with spirit and to have spirit assist you and answer specific questions. Yes. She wants to show us a cute card. It is the Ace of Swords.
Sword.
And you can check out to see how your deck shows off if it's a major arcana or a minor. Hers is a minor, and it's showing off the little symbol that it's an ace, and then there's a little sword symbol. So getting to know your deck on how it tells you if it's a major or minor. So my deck, all of the major cards, it has a number above. So it starts with 0. And then it has the name, the Fool. So all of mine have the name of the card and the number above. This deck is one of my favorite. It's an indie deck where I don't know where I put my boxes. Oh, thank you.
I moved them for I can get closer to you.
Oh, I see. Thank you, love. So clearly it's a very loved deck, but it's Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And this is one of my simplified decks because it does state the name of the major and the numbers. I want to show you a different deck. This one I've had longer, but it is not a beginner deck. It's the Spirit Tarot.
Whoa, I like it.
I've used it a lot for my Earth readings.
I like elephants. Whoever likes elephants.
Yes.
Who likes elephants?
Put a little elephant in the comments. That's my life card number. We'll also talk about life card numbers. So, what are life card numbers? We will talk about them and how to calculate your life card number. So, this deck is simple. It's a good beginner deck because it has the name of the major arcana card, the Fool. This one actually changed that name. So, when artists want to get more creative, like this one, it still has the number 0. It even has a description of it, but they renamed the Fool the Traveler.
Huh?
Yeah, I know, huh? See, that's where it can get confusing. So make sure when you are picking out a deck, you are able to see the cards and at what rate they're at. And then I have a different deck who they kept it still simple. And it's at 0 and it says the Fool, but then they change other elements. So they changed the wands to flame. Or they changed cups to brine. So you need to watch out to see because, yeah, brine. For water. It's associated with water, right? And if you didn't know that cups is associated with the element of water, you'd be like, what the heck am I reading about? Even though there's a lot of good indications like sea creatures and seashells. Yes, indications, little pictures to show off what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's get into the book. We're working on the Polaris spread. So you want to go to, after we work with Spirit, you want to go to this section, Winter Tarot Spreads. And then you have this Tarot Interpretations page. Ta-da! We're going to be going over the major arcana. I'm going to show you a few cards from my deck. I want you to find that card on your deck and see how you can best associate it with the imagery. So you saw the beginning of a lot of decks. Start off with the Fool. The purpose of the major arcana decks is, one, everyone has their own specific card, their own specific life path number in a deck. You can achieve this number by taking your birth date and separating it one number at a time. So mine would be December 1st, 1993. So I'd do 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 3. So you do that, and you continue simplifying it until you get one digit, which that winds up me being strength. So here's my card. And then you can find your card. Usually when that pops up in your spread, it's talking about you or a specific aspect of yourself, or that you're on the right path. And you can also ask Spirit if it's intended for you or if it's just the general meaning. Because sometimes that life path number card can go into your spread and you're like, why the heck do I keep getting this number? It doesn't make sense with the spread when Spirit's just trying to say, hey, I'm really talking about you. You're doing great. Next thing about Major Arcana, it is an entire cycle, which is why I really love this deck, because the Fool, it starts as a fawn, and then it ends, that's a possibility. It ends with the World card as a buck coming up to a fawn and shedding some light. So it's a full cycle. These are showing you cycles in your life. So if you want to compare your Fool card with your last card, the World, to kind of see what a full cycle from beginning to ending looks like, that'd be a great comparison. But again, the Fool card, beginning, the World, something has come to an end, a completion, a full cycle. So see what that looks like in your deck while I show off other decks comparisons. So in this one, we have the Traveler, or again, the Fool. In this World card, it's the Whale. So very different energies. That gazelle traveling, and then this wise whale in the deep blue sea. So how do you want to associate with a full cycle? That's another important thing to look at other decks when choosing a deck. If you can check out the major arcanas of the Fool and the World to compare, like, oh, that makes sense to me. Because if it doesn't make sense to you, it can be difficult to interpret. Then this other deck, how pretty. The Fool is a baby. And this deck actually has 2 surprise cards, wild cards, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to set those aside. And then this World card has a stag. And it actually looks like that baby is grown up, or at least older. Separating. Or you want to show off your cards? Let's see. What do yours look like? Ooh, I see. With her devil card. Chained up. We will be learning about those. So, we went through the Fool. As you can read, it's innocence, trust, and adventure. Now, let's go to the next one is card number 1, the Magician. So you can see the Magician has a lot of magical things around her. The Magician, resources, influence, has a lot to do with the crow spirit. So you'll notice that animal will be on the Magician card. And it'll also usually have the infinity symbol somewhere on the card. So like this one, it's above the head, like that traditional Rider-Waite. This one, see, as you can see, it's a little harder to interpret the Magician, but he's working with all of the elements. You can see the flame, you can see the water, you can see the feather, you can see the oak. This magician is working with all of the elements. Next, my kitty, is the High Priestess. Intuition, sacred knowledge, so pretty. And here it has also mystery and the subconscious. So both of these have the crescent moon, which the moon is your subconscious. I'll show this off. I really like the bird energy for the High Priestess. I think it associates well. Then we have the Empress, number 3, Rabbit. Empress and Rabbit. You will always see a rabbit with the Empress card. Maternal instincts. So rabbits are known for a lot of young. Hi. You like the Empress?
Wait, I got a cool card.
Beauty. You have a cool card to show us?
Yes.
Let's see your cool card. Wow. She's showing us her moon card. It is a very cool card. Very cool. And it has a lobster, a fox, and a lobster looking up to the moon. This associates once we get to our moon cards. I believe one of my moon cards has a lobster as well. There you go.
It does?
It does. Here's the Empress. So again, that maternal grizzly bear taking care of its cub. Then we have the Emperor. So we have, I really love this, the masculine energy, and in that buck, he's holding her emotions. He's holding the moon. Structure, leadership. We have a puma. And then I really like, I just saw this. I haven't played much with this deck in particular, but they're staring at each other, the Empress and the Emperor. So that's very beautiful. Yin and yang, masculine, feminine. Very beautiful. Now the Hierophant is your next card. Tradition, belief system, guidance. See, now this deck changed that Hierophant to Shaman. And you usually see a key because it's unlocking sacred wisdom, knowledge, guidance. And this is the Hierophant. So the pelican is guiding that young and giving it food, giving it knowledge. Then we have the Lovers. Most likely see 2, but the Lovers also means loving yourself, but it can mean finding love. It means trusting, loyalty, commitment, unity. You have the wolves, foxes. This one's interesting. I really like this interpretation. It's bats with its young. So it's that unconditional love. Then we have the Chariot. I think this is adorable. It's a little snail on a pigeon. So the Chariot is going on a journey and being disciplined on that journey. This can be physically going somewhere. This can also be metaphysically changing your mindset. In your binder, it says determination, direction. So changing the direction of a project. This one's also sweet because a lot of times when we think of going places, we think of doing it in a fast pace. And this one's clarifying that it does not have to be fast, as this child sits on a tortoise.
Sits on a tortoise?
Yeah, he's sitting on a tortoise.
I want to see.
You want to see him sitting on a tortoise? The next card is 8 for strength. My personal life path number. Yes, sweetheart. Can I see your card? Oh, it's the Tower. We're coming up to it. I know.
Look at.
Very cool. You want to show it off? Oh, she's doing a reversal. We'll talk about reversals towards the end. So strength. Strength actually means to be vulnerable in situations that you may want to begin conflict. This one is the badger with all of its animals and serpent. This one, the strength card, is the elephant. Courage, self-control, fortitude. This one, so other decks have their own opinions. This one switched their strength card with justice, which is quite interesting. So knowing your deck and really paying attention to those numbers is ideal. So it looks like the two tarot decks I'm showing you are intermediate, while this first one is not. Then we have 9, the Hermit, which a lot of times is depicted as a hedgehog. So keeping to yourself, but staying protected and still carrying that knowledge and wisdom. We also have a koala. So contemplating on things, not rushing into something. Here, I'll even show you again. We have that hedgehog energy. Your binder shows reflection, contemplation, and introspection. Put those back. Then we have Wheel of Fortune. This is beautiful, especially it's around Yule and there's a spider. And I really love this because it's showing all the different directions, options, elements, and you have that wise owl showing off. So the Wheel of Fortune, possibilities, change. You have that octopus with so many options to stretch out and go towards what it wants. This is karma, fate, destiny, a turning point for number 10. And I'll show you the other one. So you can see how this animal is rolling up into a ball and physically going places, but it has to curl into something to make that option viable. Then we have Justice. I really love that it's depicted as a wolf. And Justice has a crown. This one, Justice is a crow with clarity, and it's holding something to keep in balance. It's also showing that there's a sword. So there are challenges that comes with achieving justice. This one switched the justice and strength. So 11 is actually strength with the bison. Everyone knows how much I love bison. And in your book, it's showing honesty and defending what is right. Next, the Hanged Man, which is so cute because it's a mouse hanging on. Typically, you will see something of an animal or person literally hanging upside down. So in this one, it's a better depiction of a hanged man. The praying mantis is upside down. And in this picture, it is a person as a tree upside down. In your binder, the Hanged Man perspective, surrendering, circumspection. What does it say on here? Patience and your perspective. So changing your perspective on things. Just like the mouse is way up in the top, looking over all of those grass blades when usually it's in the blades. 12 is Death. A lot of people kind of freak out about this card. This is not a bad card. And because people freak out about getting a Death card, other decks like to be creative and rename it. So this one renamed it Transformation with that cicada. And it has transition and liberation. So Death is actually a very good transformative card because something needs to pass and be released to welcome in new energies coming forth. So you can see that rabbit is happy about the passing of something to bring in that good luck For your death, there's change, transformation, and new beginnings. This one didn't even write death. It just has 13. That's how much people really dislike the death card. Next one is temperance. You have this beautiful swan holding on to these cups, emotions, while it's in all of this motion. This is kind of like, I'm so going to butcher up this saying, but, oh my goodness. If you know me, I'm terrible at sayings, but it's something about a boat and like, if there's no water in your boat, it won't sink or something. That's whatever that saying is. It reminds me of the temperance card fully and completely. This one has a zebra, so balance and having harmony. But it's pretty much showing in both pictures how what you're holding on to doesn't have to be associated with what's around you. You don't have to soak it in. In your binder, it's saying peace, tranquility, and moderation. So it's also not picking up what's outside. Just because all of that water is available doesn't mean it needs to pick it up and have it in here. Temperance. So you see the frog going through and balancing its life through all of its cycles of tadpole and egg. Then we have another card that has been renamed. This is the original. It's the Devil card. And you have that moth for mysticism. And you also see these two foxes are tied up, but they can clearly get out. There's just something that is binding them. On the next one, they switched. Instead of saying the devil, it's the shadow. So working with your shadow counterparts. So self-improvement, empowerment, and your ambition. And that's also really good coyote medicine. This one is showing the devil and rats are getting plump while that snake is ready to eat them while they're eating. So it's quite interesting. So having your cake while eating it too aspect. And in here it has helplessness or tied to a situation. So you'll see in your devil card, a lot of things will be tied or chained up to something. When they have the power to move from it, it's just really unlocking it. Now, here is a card, the Tower. Usually there is a physical tower that is falling over. I believe Miss Violet showed her tower to us earlier in the beginning. But here in this tower, I have a tree getting struck by lightning. So it's some sort of stable structure that is getting hit with a huge amount of energy to change it. Yep, a lightning is a lot of energy. Here we have the tower releasing revelations with this chameleon and the sun. This tower, this birch, looks like it's getting cut down by these beavers. So it's foundation. Beavers are all about building foundation. So it's interesting how it's balanced with them building foundation while tearing down the tree's foundation. Next beautiful card is the Star. For this star, we have the Swan, which is peace and healing, subconscious. In your thing, it also says hope, renewal. It's a very positive, uplifting card, the Star. This one has the star, the sea star, and otter means positivity. So really looking at your card and seeing what positive changes, what positive shifts, what positive energy is happening in your card so you can remember those little key notes. Then we have the moon. So we have this cute little squirrel and the crescent moon. Very content. So imagination, perception. He is asleep and dreaming. This is dream realm. But obviously this owl is nocturnal, so it's seeing what is unseen, uncovering. You're getting new perspectives from your subconscious. The unknown, illuminating what is usually seen in the dark. You may not see during the light. So these hairs. So there is beauty, because the rabbit, the hare, is known for beauty. There's beauty in seeing your shadow. So checking out and really looking at all parts of your card. Then we have the sun, the counterpart, the divine masculine part of that divine feminine from the moon. The sun, usually this one they got really creative and put rain, but the sun is usually vibrant. It's associated with joy, vitality, life source, warmth, optimism, beginnings. You can see the sun is a physical baby in this picture. How gorgeous is that? Then we have judgment. Judgment is neither good nor bad. And I believe judgment card can also scare others from wanting to do this, because we may carry judgment for others, but specifically carry a lot of judgment for ourselves. So this deck switched judgment to awakening, and the peacock, because the peacock holds so many eyes in its feathers, so many perspectives. So they changed it, which I think is beautiful, changed judgment to awakening, because it is a process. You continue going through different judgments, through different phases for awakening periods, for enlightenment, for renewing your energy over and over again. And I really like this depiction of judgment, because it's that butterfly going through its phases. It literally has to melt and mush into goo to rebuild itself and come out alive and brand new and awakened. In your book, it has inner calling and also evaluation. Oh, I really like that. And then, of course, we have the last cycle, which is the world. You have that buck holding the light out for that fawn. And this can be within yourself. You can see that you have grown through a lot of change, and now there's something new. There's something fawn-like within you that you want to shine light on. That might be in your dark, might be in your shadow realm, or it can be with someone else. So there's multiple ways of reading the world card, but you have finished a cycle. Fulfillment. This is time to celebrate, be happy, excited. There's a grown-up part here. There's a part that a lot of full moon energy, a lot of wholeness. So that concludes the major arcana. Whew. I'm going to put all of my little decks together. Next, with your major arcana, we're going to we're going to pass the minor arcana. We aren't starting that today. Go to your Polaris Winter Star spread right here, and we're going to answer the question. So it says 1 card draw. That's what we'll be working with this cycle, are just 1 card draws, so you can really get to know your deck before we start meshing in 2 ideas. Open circle. If you do not know how to open circle, I would love to open circle with you. It is in the front of your binder on how to open circle. But I shall open circle with you. So we're going to call upon. Do you want to help me open circle?
Yes.
Yeah?
I already know how to do it. We do it every day.
Yes, we are adamant about keeping our space sacred.
She doesn't keep promises.
Oh, yeah, I'm terrible at it. So we're going to call upon the air elements of the East, which is all about change, right? Let's call upon the fire elements of the south. We're learning here, guys.
Don't burn anything on me.
I'll try not to burn too much stuff on you. I know, Ash. I know, it just fell right off. Let's call upon the water element of the west.
Guess when's my birthday? It's on the...
She's a Capricorn. We're in her season. Are you going to say?
It's on the 27th.
She's super excited because we're going to get up to her element, which is the earth element of the north. Because we did the water element of the west for our emotions. And then we're going to call upon God.
Don't touch me again.
Whoa, feisty. Call upon God, our universe, and spirit guides. Because what we're utilizing this deck for, what we're utilizing this deck for is to connect with your spirit guides so they can give us a message. Yes. Now, I want you to shuffle up your major arcana because this is going to show us where you are at in your cycle right now. So when you want to see where you're at in your cycle, in your life, this is a really good way. And then later on, you can add the elements to add more background, more meat, more details to how you are going through that. You're going to ask the question on here. So, what is the essence of my inner shadow self? What is the essence of my inner shadow self?
Inner shadow shout?
Inner shadow self.
Self. I thought you said shout.
Shout. Self. And I received the High Priestess.
What are we doing again?
We are asking a question. So you can ask any question you want. And then you can place it down on your little deck. And you do have space to write down what card you received. And then you're going to go over to your interpretations. So mine would be sacred knowledge, mystery, and the subconscious. And I can see here that there is a little paper. It's holding knowledge. It's holding a letter. It's crowned. And subconscious with that moon. Quite interesting. So practicing, really connecting, and that's something that you can work with your inner shadow self, since as the sun is coming towards us during the winter solstice, our shadow is going to get bigger and more prominent for us to work with. That concludes our tarot for this week. I'm super stoked because tomorrow is our first journey, so definitely use this energy. Yeah. Use this card, use this energy to assist you for your journey for tomorrow. Thank you so much. Namaste, blessed. Have fun with your deck. Really keep looking over your major arcanas and getting to know the symbols on that card and feeling the energy. So it's not so important that you memorize the name of it. It's, oh, I know what that energy means. Oh, I know the moon symbol is a divine feminine energy and your subconscious. So getting those key hints from the card, because you want to feel it, you don't want to just memorize it. Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Night-night.
Bye.
I hope you have a great Christmas.
Yes. And tomorrow we're celebrating the new moon energy. So we'll be setting intentions.
No intentions, actually.
Oh, no. So many intentions. So excited. Someone's ready for bed. Bye, guys.